So do everybody a favor, just walk yourself off that stage, enjoy a nice meal, and get the hell out of this race. When it comes to Nikki, I want to say one thing about the tie to Ukraine, if I may. So foreign policy experience is not the same as foreign policy wisdom. I want everybody at home to note that I was the first person to say we need a reasonable peace deal in Ukraine. Now a lot of the neocons are quietly coming along to that position, with the exceptions of Nikki Haley and Joe Biden, who still support this, what I believe is pointless war in Ukraine. And I think those with foreign policy experience, one thing that Joe Biden and Nikki Haley have in common is that neither of them could even state for you 3 provinces in eastern Ukraine that they want to send our troops to actually fight for. Look at that. This is what I want people to understand. These people have, I mean, she has no idea what the hell the names of those provinces are, but she wants to send our sons and daughters and our troops and our military equipment to go fight it. So reject this myth that they've been selling you, that somebody had a cup of coffee stint at the UN and then makes $8 million after, has real foreign.
Yes, welcome back. Vivek is on fire. I don't know if you have seen this. I have a couple of videos I'm going to play so you can see exactly what went on. Vivek challenged Nikki Haley to name one province in eastern Ukraine where he says she wants to potentially send our soldiers to fight. She can't. The look on her face says it all. Watching that debate to a certain level, I was amazed as Vivek actually destroyed some of these people. But when you take a look at Fox and Friends, they try to blast Vivek for calling for a peace deal in Ukraine. According to this article, Fox and Friends blast Vivek for calling for a peace deal in Ukraine. He responded, their neocon logic got us the disaster in Afghanistan in fairy throwdown.
Thank you. I want you all to kind of picture in your minds election day. You'll all be heading to the polls to vote. And that's something that Donald Trump will not be able to do, because he will be convicted of felonies before then, and his right to vote will be taken away. You know, look, here's the bottom line. You can boo about it all you like and continue to deny reality. But if we deny reality as a party, we're going to have 4 more years of Joe Biden. When my colleagues here raised their hands and said they would support him even if he was a convicted felon, the bigger problem with it is they were confirming the lies he's told to the American people. If you're too timid to take on Trump, believe me, others will see that timidity. Xi, Putin and the Ayatollah, the border crossers on the southern border, and the criminals in our streets. They'll sense that timidity and they'll take advantage of that failure of leadership. We need to get back to an old American idea that every person is responsible for their own conduct.
But the problem, I just like to know, when this policy, it's just ridiculous on Russia and Ukraine. He says, tell Russia basically they can have Ukraine if they promise not to have an alliance with China. I mean, if there's... can we hear us now? Hey, Vivek.
I can hear.
Vivek, are you comfortable? Are you comfortable with Russia taking as much as Ukraine as they want? Are you comfortable pulling all our aid out? And do you really believe that Vladimir Putin will agree not to have an alliance with China?
I think we have to play hardball there and make a hard deal that requires any reneging on that deal to have major consequences.
Like what? Like sanctions, like we have right now?
Well, look, I think that we have to be able to have real consequences. Maximum pressure campaign. We have sanctions. We don't have a maximum pressure campaign. And I can go into the details of that, and I have at the Nixon Library and elsewhere. But what I'm saying, Brian, is the clear principles are this war doesn't advance U.S. interests.
Yes, it does.
Russia-China alliance is the top threat that we face.
If you give up Eastern Europe, we're being a world war.
If I may ask you a question.
Right.
You asked the question, I want to make sure I answer it.
It is in our interest.
Detailed contours of a deal. I think it is not in our interest to strengthen the Russia-China alliance, and I think our policy right now is driving Russia further into China's arms.
It's going to be done anyway. You cannot keep Russia from China.
I think Russia is going... I think the answer is we are driving Russia into China's hands. There are kinks in the armor of that relationship. Look at Russia sending weapons to India and to Vietnam after other meetings they've had. This is our opportunity. Nixon did this in 1972, and Brian, respectfully, people like you said the same thing, that Nixon couldn't do it. Well, it takes an outsider who's skeptical of that establishment. That's going to be me.
I was 7 years old.
But we can both... You and I are both students of history, and I trust you to know that.
Are you comfortable giving up Eastern Europe? Because you know they're already taking Moldova, already making moves on the Baltic already. They're taking more and more pieces of Georgia.
Tell you what I'm not comfortable
and all
with.
we've done is sit there and send blankets and MREs, and we got an invasion. So what is going to be next?
Because we have no idea how Ukraine has spent $200 billion of our money. We're forking over more taxpayer money.
Do you see how they fight? These guys are the best fighters in the...
And I'm not going to stand for that.
Ukrainians are probably the...
Yes, I watched that debate. To a certain level, I was happy because I could see how Nikki Haley was actually feeling like a type. During the last time debate, Nikki Haley said Vivek has a problem with women. Vivek had to point that out to her to realize that is not my problem. I don't hate women. Going after Nikki Haley was not a personal thing, but trying to call out a lot of things that she has done. Like, you work with the UN for some time, you were not rich like you are today, but after that, you became rich. How come? That is a question that a lot of people have been furious about, calling out Nikki Haley on trans issues and what is going on in Ukraine, because Nikki Haley has been standing up to say she will send people to fight. Like what I saw yesterday, the Pentagon made it clear if Congress is not approving money to Ukraine, they will send US soldiers to fight in that battle. So that is what is happening. Republicans stood up to say, if you don't do this to our borders, we are not giving any money again to Ukraine. So it has become a problem. Like, if you don't send the money, then we have to fight that war. They understand that people are avoiding to send US soldiers into certain areas, like fighting war again. If Nikki Haley is advocating for this, it is concerning. Though a lot of people say Vivek wants Russia to take over certain part of Ukraine, but that should not happen. If it's that one, I don't want it to happen. If they can look for a possible way that they can resolve this without actually even reaching this level of taking any land, I'll be fine. Yeah. They could look for a peaceful solution to it. But when you take a look at what is happening on a daily basis, the situation, we are not even talking about Ukraine. When I look through the news, I'm not seeing that. But on a daily basis, I see how they're talking about Israel. It's like the attention is being driven away. Reading articles recently, a lot of people, have been so skeptical about the war. Like 2 days ago, they say the US government is thinking like they might run short of funds, to continue, to give to this man. Imagine if this happened. It therefore means they were not prepared to even start this war, because if they were prepared, they will not be facing some of this challenge I see happening in Ukraine, like begging money around the world. If somebody is helping you every single day, don't expect that to happen throughout your life. There will be a certain period the person will get tired, and that time you might be looking at that person like he is bad. So you have to look for possible ways to sort yourself out. That is just the advice I think Vivek should have looked deep into.